You're training harder than ever, longer sessions, extra drills after practice, gym work before sunrise. But here's the truth nobody wants to hear. You're not getting better because you're not recovering. The players who dominate aren't just training more, they're recovering smarter. And by the end of this video, you'll understand the exact recovery protocols that separate professionals from amateurs, the science behind why your body needs strategic rest more than it needs another sprint session, and the specific techniques elite players use to show up stronger, faster, and sharper every single match day. This isn't about ice baths and protein shakes. This is about rewiring how you think about the 90 minutes between sessions, because that's where legends are actually built. Most players think recovery is passive. They think it's about doing nothing. That's the first mistake. Recovery is active warfare against fatigue, and the best players in the world treat it like a tactical discipline. Let me show you what they know that you don't. The first weapon in your recovery arsenal is something I call the Parasympathetic Reset, and it's built on a principle most footballers completely ignore. Your nervous system has two modes: fight or flight, which dominates during training and matches, and rest and digest, which controls recovery, sleep quality, and muscle repair. The problem is that modern players live in fight or flight constantly. They train hard, scroll through social media, stay wired on caffeine, and wonder why their body feels destroyed. Look at someone like Haaland. After every single match, he engages in deliberate breath work. 10 minutes of deep nasal breathing where his exhales are twice as long as his inhales. This isn't yoga nonsense. This is pure physiology. Long, slow breathing activates your vagus nerve, which signals your body to stop producing cortisol and start releasing growth hormone and testosterone. These are the hormones that rebuild muscle, sharpen focus, and flood your system with energy. When you finish training, your body is screaming in fight mode. If you don't manually switch it off, you'll stay inflamed, you'll sleep poorly, and tomorrow's session will feel like dragging concrete. The reset isn't rest, it's a biological gear shift. Breathe deep, exhale slow, and teach your body how to rebuild. The second principle is what I call nutritional timing windows, and this is where 90% of grassroots players lose the game before it even starts. Your muscles have a 45-minute window after training when they're screaming for glycogen and protein. Miss that window, and your recovery drops by half. Cristiano Ronaldo doesn't eat whenever he's hungry. He eats within 30 minutes of finishing every session, a precise ratio of carbohydrates to protein that floods his depleted muscles with exactly what they need to rebuild. It's not about eating more, it's about eating smarter. Carbs refill your glycogen stores, which is your explosive power for the next sprint, the next shot, the next lung-busting run in the 80th minute. Protein triggers muscle protein synthesis, the literal rebuilding of torn fibers into stronger ones. If you're eating 2 hours after training because you're not hungry yet, you're letting your competition get stronger while you stay flat. The window exists whether you believe in it or not, and elite players exploit it religiously. Your post-training meal isn't a reward, it's a weapon. Fuel the machine when it's ready to absorb, or accept being outworked by someone who does. Next is something most players have heard of but completely misunderstand: active recovery architecture. You've been told to go for a light jog or swim on rest days, and you do it without knowing why. Here's the real science. When you train hard, waste products like lactate and inflammatory markers pool in your muscles. Your lymphatic system, which clears this junk out, doesn't have a pump like your heart does. It only moves when you move. That's why players like Kevin De Bruyne don't sit on the couch the day after a match. They move at about 40 to 50% intensity, a relaxed bike ride, a pool session, mobility circuits, just enough to get blood flowing without creating new damage. This flushes out the metabolic waste, delivers oxygen and nutrients to tired tissues, and keeps your joints mobile so you don't seize up. The key is the intensity. Too hard and you're just creating more fatigue. Too easy and you're not moving enough fluid through the system. Think of it like rinsing out a sponge. You need gentle pressure and movement, not another squeeze that drains you further. Recovery isn't about being still, it's about being smart with motion. Then there's the concept of sleep architecture optimization, and this is the most underrated performance enhancer in football. You've heard sleep is important, everyone says that, but what elite players understand is that it's not just about 8 hours, it's about the quality and structure of those hours. Your body repairs itself in deep sleep stages, specifically during the first 4 hours of the night. This is when growth hormone peaks, when your brain consolidates tactical learning from training, when damaged muscle fibers get rebuilt. Mohamed Salah is obsessive about his sleep environment. Blackout curtains, room temperature at exactly 65 degrees, no screens 2 hours before bed, and a strict sleep schedule even on match days. Why? Because even one night of poor sleep cuts your glycogen restoration by 30%, and your reaction time drops measurably. You're literally slower and weaker the next day. Most players stay up scrolling, drinking pre-workout late in the day, or letting stress keep them wired, and they show up to training already compromised. Your sleep environment isn't a luxury, it's a performance lab. Treat it like one, or accept that someone else is gaining an edge while you're tired. Now we get into contrast therapy cycling, which sounds complicated but is devastatingly simple and effective. Your muscles swell with inflammation after intense work. That inflammation is necessary for adaptation, but if it stays too long, it slows recovery. The fastest way to control it is through contrast, alternating between hot and cold exposure. Kylian Mbappé uses this after every single training block. 3 minutes in a cold plunge at about 50 degrees, immediately followed by 3 minutes in a hot tub or sauna at around 100 degrees, repeated 3 times. The cold constricts blood vessels and reduces inflammation. The hot dilates them and flushes fresh blood in. This rapid cycling acts like a pump, clearing waste and delivering nutrients faster than passive rest ever could. You don't need a professional facility. A cold shower followed by a hot one works. The principle is the cycle, not the equipment. Most players either skip this entirely or only do one temperature, which gives you half the benefit. The magic is in the contrast, the shock to your system that forces accelerated circulation. Your muscles don't just feel better, they literally recover faster at a cellular level. Another critical piece is what I call mobility debt management, and this is something that destroys careers slowly and silently. Every training session, every match, every sprint creates tiny restrictions in your fascia and joints. These restrictions accumulate. Your hip loses 2 degrees of internal rotation. Your ankle loses 5 degrees of dorsiflexion. You don't notice it immediately, but your body compensates, and those compensations create new stress points that eventually become injuries. Virgil van Dijk spends 20 minutes every single day working on mobility, not stretching. Mobility. Dynamic movements that take joints through full ranges under control. This isn't about touching your toes. It's about maintaining the capacity to move powerfully in every direction without your body fighting itself. Most players stretch for 30 seconds before a match and wonder why they pull a hamstring in the 75th minute. Your body can't produce force in ranges it doesn't own. If your hip can't internally rotate, your groin compensates. If your ankle can't dorsiflex, your knee takes the load. Mobility work is injury prevention, force production, and longevity all in one. 10 minutes a day keeps you on the pitch, and ignoring it guarantees you'll spend time on the treatment table. Finally, there's the concept of cognitive restoration, and this might be the most overlooked recovery tool in football. Your brain is an organ that fatigues just like your muscles. Tactical decisions, pattern recognition, reading the game, these all require mental energy. When your brain is fried, your touch gets heavy, your decisions slow down, you miss obvious passes. Luka Modric, one of the most intelligent midfielders ever, practices 20 minutes of complete mental disconnection every day. No phone, no tactics, no football talk. Just sitting in silence or taking a walk with zero input. This isn't meditation, it's cognitive unloading. Your brain needs space to process, to consolidate what you've learned, to reset your focus. Most players finish training and immediately jump into FIFA, TikTok, group chats, never giving their mind a break. Then they wonder why they feel mentally flat in matches. Your brain has a bandwidth limit. Respect it. Strategic boredom, intentional silence, and device-free time aren't luxuries. They're performance necessities. Champions recover their minds as aggressively as they recover their bodies. Here's what all this really means. Recovery isn't what you do when you're not training. Recovery is training. It's the discipline of building your body back stronger, sharper, and more resilient than it was yesterday. Every elite player you admire isn't just talented, they're systematically optimizing the time between sessions to ensure their talent shows up when it matters. You can train like a professional, eat like a professional, and sleep like a professional. And if you do, you'll close the gap faster than you thought possible. These aren't secrets. They're just habits that most players are too lazy or too ignorant to build. But you're not most players anymore. So here's what you do next. Pick 2 of these protocols, just 2, and build them into your routine this week. Start with the Parasympathetic Reset and the Nutritional Timing Window because they're simple and the results show up immediately. Then, as those become automatic, layer in the others. Join our Discord community where we break down recovery plans, share progress, and hold each other accountable. Drop a comment below telling me which recovery habit you're committing to first, because when you declare it publicly, you're 10 times more likely to follow through. And if you want the full breakdown, exact timing, specific exercises, and a printable recovery checklist, grab the free guide linked below. This is how you go from surviving sessions to dominating them. This is how you show up every single day better than the last. Now stop watching and start recovering like your career depends on it, because it does.